to see you again. I miss you as always. This week we're going to look into some little creatures called isopods. But first I want to show you something kind of cool over on my screen porch. These eggs were laid about a week and a half ago. And guess what's in there now? Now, I just scared away the parent bird, and I don't do that very often. But for you, I will. Look, see the little baby ones in there? Aren't they cute? There's about 5 little fuzzies. And this is what the parents look like. It's a kind of bird called a house finch. They're pretty common. What'd you say? It's a nice day out, right? Want to go outside? Oh, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right, it's a beautiful day today, everybody. Look at that beautiful sky. It's so nice out. So we're going to go out in the backyard and look under a rock. What do you think we might find if I pick up a rock in my backyard? Here we go. Oh, it's heavy. Oh, what's down there? What is that? All kinds of things. Squirmy things, little creepy crawlers. What's on the top? What is it, Cedric? He's curious. He wants to dig. Watch him go. He likes digging in the dirt. So this is a science activity I recommend to all of you curious kids as well. Go outside if you can find a rock or a brick or a log, anything like that. Just look under it and see what you find. It's kind of fun, interesting, and there's a whole world under there. Just be sure you put back whatever you flip over in case somebody wanted it in that particular spot. Now I'm going to try and see what's under this board. This big old board out in the garden. What's going to be under here? Whoa! Look at that. It's a giant isopod Pokemon dude. JK. It's roly-polies. Ooh, they're all over this board. Big ones, little ones. Look at them all. Baby ones. Why are they all running away? Looks like I have quite a lot of them. Isopods can be found all over the world in all kinds of environments. That's why they have so many weird names. They're called tic-tacs, cheesy bobs, nut bugs, armadillo bugs, woodlouse, doodlebugs, chucky pigs, monkey peas, pill bugs. Ooh, that's a lot of names. Isopods have been on Earth for over 300 million years, which tells you that they have had a long time to develop structures on their bodies that really help them survive. Now, I want you to watch these, and on your worksheet, you're going to be answering the question, what external structures, and that means on the outside of their bodies, do you see? What keeps them protected? How do they move? What special features do they have that help them sense their environment? I collected some isopods and put them in something called a choice chamber. I put moist paper towels under them because isopods breathe through gills, and if you let them dry out, they'll die. We really wouldn't want that to happen, would we? Okay, so the isopods are all in their nice little choice chamber, and you can see they can travel back and forth between sides. So now I'm going to use this setup to do a little experiment. I'm going to ask a question. Do isopods have a preference for light or dark? Do they like to be in the dark? Or I shouldn't say they like. See, we say that about animals, but it's really a matter of what better habitat suits their needs. So I'm going to try this experiment. I'm going to put this black fabric bag over 1/2 of the choice chamber, and then we'll observe for a little bit and see if there's any clear preference that they show by going to one side or the other. Let's see what happens. Okay, so this is a time lapse of about 2 minutes of isopod activity, and they're going back and forth and in and out. Well, let's take a look. This is, I just took the top off, and wow, you can see there seems to be a lot more isopods on the side that did have the covering, that was the dark side, than there are on the light side. There's still some crawling around on the light side too, but what do you think? I wish you all had a choice chamber of your own that you could experiment with, but I did think of one way you could make one at home if you have some baggies and a straw and a cup. You could just use paper towels. You would take the straw and put it between the two bags and then zip it up as tightly as you can, and maybe you'd have to tape it a little bit to make sure that they didn't creep out the sides. You'd want to put paper towels inside and probably, well, not probably, but for sure, you'd want to add some moisture because we know the isopods definitely need that in their habitat. And then you would put the straw between those two and zip them up as tightly as you can. Then you probably want to also poke some air holes in the bag. So this is just one idea of a way to set up a choice chamber at home. You could probably come up with your own way if you just look around and see what you have on hand. When you do set up your experiment though, what you want to make sure to do is only change one thing. So I'm using the same kind of paper towel and the same amount of water on each side, and hopefully the conditions are the same except for one thing that I'll change from one side to the next. Well, it's worth a try. I'm going to try this experiment. Do isopods prefer Cheerios, or are they going to go for the kicks? I watched for over 2 hours and I only caught one guy over in the Cheerios at one point, and another one, maybe the same one on the kick side. So I don't know. I'm wondering if maybe they were all hiding in the straw and they just like it in there because it was dark. So this experiment leaves more questions than it answered. But that's the fun of science. You're always left with more questions than you started with. And maybe you'll figure out a way to solve this problem. Let me know if you do. I hope you'll enjoy learning some things about isopods on your own. They're pretty fascinating, from the giant isopod. There's a video link to that. There's all kinds of different pet isopods that people keep, even yellow ones, and even little containers, little playgrounds for your isopods, and Japanese anime that is obsessed with isopods. You can find all kinds of interesting art around these creatures. You could even get a little knitting pattern and knit your own isopod. Or get a pillow isopod. I kind of like that one. Or how about gold? Pretty cool. Hey, here's Ruby's cat, Mr. T, not to change the subject. And he's my cue that it's time to go. See you guys. Take care.